In a just society, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez would still be a bartender. I was a bartender before I went to medical school. It was a time that I look back on fondly. I learned so many important life skills, including empathy, teamwork, and effective time management. Nobody should judge another's journey. It makes you look petty, really. Yeah, but is he verified? No. So, does his opinion really count? I'm joking, by the way.
Hey everyone, my name is Jake and welcome to r/MurderedByWords, where we go over well-constructed and probably the best put-downs and comebacks on the internet. Oh, and here's a quick disclaimer so YouTube likes me.
1 star. Horrible. The appetizers were delicious, service was fair, entrees were overcooked and took forever, management was condescending and unhelpful. Half of our table got their entrees, and the other half took over 30 minutes more. Service gave up at that point, and we had to ask for management. The manager that came was patronizing and smug, and at times downright disrespectful. Finally got the rest of our food, which was overcooked, and no one came to check on it. At the end of the meal, we were chastised for eating the food when we said we weren't happy with it. The manager even asked to see the food on each plate that was uneaten. Overall, we felt as though they didn't care and could do without us as customers. Good food and concept, but poorly managed and operated. Management response. Good afternoon. Since I took over the manager position here at Blank, I have sought to always own up to situations in which we did not deliver a quality experience. Please see the response to the only other negative review on this page for an example of that. This, however, is not one of those situations. You left a few things out of your review. Number 1. First and foremost, at no point did your server give up on taking care of your table. I instructed her not to return to your table after you verbally abused her, calling her, among other things, stupid. I will not tolerate harassment of my employees, and it was only out of respect for the other members of your party and your children that I did not ask you to leave immediately. Number 2. Your party received 4 separate waves of entrees because you ordered your entrees at 4 separate times. Number 3. If I came across as smug and condescending, I do apologize. However, when you indicated that a medium well-done filet should take no longer than 3 to 4 minutes tops to prepare, I was a bit taken aback. We have a team of chefs that have worked in highly decorated restaurants in New York, Chicago, and Asheville, and none of them is aware of such a technique that does not involve pre-cooking or microwaving. We would never do those things to our product. We have too much respect for it and our customers. And number 4. I did not demand to see your already eaten food. I asked if I could see the overcooked entrees, whereupon you indicated that you had already eaten it. It is impossible for me or the chef to improve operations without constructive feedback, and unfortunately, an extremely rude dismissal and a turned back doesn't leave much room for dialogue. Also worth noting is that I did not ask you to pay for those 2 dishes, another fact you left out of your review. Ultimately, I do appreciate your party joining us at our restaurant this past Friday night. They seemed like very pleasant people, and I hope they were able to enjoy their experience in spite of your conduct. Normally, if I am convinced that a restaurant and customer are not a good fit for each other, I would encourage that customer to try out other restaurants that might be a better fit. However, I would not wish your particular brand of malicious incivility on anybody. Best, the manager. Wow, they might not be able to cook a medium rare filet in 3 to 4 minutes, but they can definitely roast someone in that time. Progressive males are not men. They move and gesticulate like women. The hand over mouth gesture is one example. Physically repulsive. Conservatives get offended by the weirdest stuff. Imagine masculinity so fragile that you can't even touch your own face. Yeah, this just reminds me of the OK symbol, you know, just somewhat stupid that no one should actually care about. DC Films still doesn't know what to do with Superman. The studio reportedly is unsure how to make the character relevant to modern audiences. Yeah, there really is no way to make the story of a space refugee adopted by farmers in Middle America, who later becomes a journalist and a hero, focused on righting injustices and thwarting the schemes of a selfish billionaire, relevant to modern times. I feel like that's, you know, the whole point of Superman. If you don't respect the Emmys, you don't have to respect someone for winning one. It doesn't matter if they don't respect the Emmys or Patton. How can you possibly claim someone is a failed comedian when they've literally won one of the biggest awards in entertainment? That's like saying Michael Phelps isn't a real athlete because I don't enjoy watching the Olympics. Weightlifters aren't strong because I don't respect gravity. Wow, I bet Isaac Newton is just turning in his grave after that. Did my landlord just try to use the Bible to raise my rent? Attention all tenants. Effective October the 1st, 2019 rent will increase 10% on all units according to numbers 1821. Hey Brucey baby, it's illegal for you to raise my rent during an active lease term. Also, federal law, the Fair Housing Act, protects me from you making any decisions about my housing based on religion. If, when my lease is up, you want to increase the rent, New York law says you have to give me 30 days notice if it's more than 5%. Also, 1 Corinthians 6:9-10 says, "Do not be deceived, neither the thieves, nor the greedy, nor the swindlers will inherit the kingdom of God." Oh, using the Bible to try and get more money? Oh, how dare you? I posted this looking for empathy and real advice, not mansplaining. Please don't try to tell me what my situation is when you've only read 3 brief paragraphs about it. Give me real legal advice or nothing. I have a counter-proposal. You can cram your presumption of my gender up your butt, along with your demands from attorneys offering free advice, and I'll lock and remove your post instead. He must have just watched that one episode of Drake and Josh where Drake also rhymes orange with door hinge. There's this chick I follow on Facebook. I accidentally started following her because she has the same name of this girl I met, and thought I was sending a friend request to her. She was only 14 when I started following her. As soon as I realized she wasn't the person I was meaning to follow, I went to unfollow her. But then I realized this 14-year-old girl was hilariously stupid. She didn't know why America would send a separate team from Georgia to the Olympics. She couldn't figure out why elevators had buttons for the floor she was already on, and many other things I just saw and laughed. Anyway, I never stopped following her because she was such a big source of my morning laughs. She got pregnant at 15 because she thought you couldn't get pregnant on the first time. She was sure that the 15-year-old boy that got her pregnant was going to be a great daddy. Well, the kid is 1 now, and she always complains about him never being around, and how he would rather stay at home bored than see his son, and all the other stuff any of us could have warned her about when she was certain she was going to be the one teenage mom whose baby daddy would actually hang around. Anyway, the reason I bring all that up is through these 2 years I've followed this complete moron. She has never written must of when she meant must have. So if this person can get it right, then everyone can. I literally forgot about the first post and I've gone up and it says must have. What a good roast.
Wow, that video looks really good. Oh, and that one looks really cool too. I'm gonna click both of them and watch them now. That's my impression of you guys right now, so go watch them.